Good morning, all. So today we're going to be going to Disneyland, where I want to show you a few spots that I think a lot of Twisted Wonderland fans would find really cool if they ever went to the parks. Just pack your Twisted Wonderland uniforms and let's go. So the park is completely dressed up for Halloween right now, which is absolutely perfect. What wasn't perfect was the fact that it was Oogie Boogie night on the day that I went, so I had to go to California Adventures first. I've personally been to Oogie Boogie night, and it's absolutely so much fun. You have to go, especially if you're dressing up as a Twisted Wonderland character. I dressed up as Blot Riddle, and it was super fun. What I love about the parks is how they dress everything up, especially the window displays. Like this one, doesn't he look like the Phantom Blot? Or is that just me? But anyways, let's go to the Animation Academy, where I'd like to show you the Sorcerer's workshop. But first, the window display with the magic mirror, a perfect photo opportunity if you're wearing your Night Raven College uniform. It's always air conditioned and nice in here. It's one of my favorite places to stop by and take a breather. And it's even better because the Sorcerer's workshop is in here. And look, all of this stuff and the magic mirror, it just makes you feel like you're in Night Raven College. You honestly expect Crowley or Grimm to pop out, and you just want to jump right into the mirror into Twisted Wonderland. The Beast's library next door reminds me of the prologue where Crowley catches you in the library. And I just love imagining myself in that world. It's even better when you have a Grimm plush in your backpack to carry around as a buddy. I also recommend checking out Off the Page, which is the store located right next door. But on to the next park, we're gonna head to Disneyland, where there will be a ton more stuff to check out for Twisted Wonderland fans. The decorations, top tier, even more than California Adventures. It just gives you so much nostalgia. I've been coming to Disneyland for 27 years now, my whole life. I love what they did with the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, how they added an art exhibition. I love looking at the Haunted Mansion stuff particularly because it looks like Ramshackle Dorm to me, the old drafts. They even had the Evil Queen on display. I love her so much. Speaking of the Evil Queen, at the book rest, they have a display with her spell book. And it reminds me so much of Bill's spell book. Since Snow White was Disney's first feature-length animated film, there will be a lot of Pomafiore mentioned in this Disneyland video. So please beware and look out for all of that. But since that day that I went was quite hot, I went to Starbucks and I got myself an iced drink. I was dying. I was wearing the full uniform and gloves, so I needed this pumpkin spice frappuccino. So with that in hand, we're gonna head to the Walt and Mickey statue, where I think you guys should check out because it reminds me of the Great Seven in Twisted Wonderland. We have the statues of so many characters and it's located right in front of the castle. I just find it quite endearing that Yana probably took inspiration from that. But let's go to the Royal Theater, where they put on a lot of acts for the princes and princesses. But if you go to the courtyard here, sometimes you get to see the villains. I've seen the Evil Queen on that balcony many times, and her makeup is always on point. She's so pretty. You can also see her on the other side of the castle, which is where I'd like to take you next. If you follow the sound of Snow White singing, you will find her well, where you will also find Epel Felmier. Just kidding. He's not there, unfortunately, but it is reminiscent of Book 5, where he sings down the well. Yet again, another relaxing place if there aren't any kids. It's also the place where you will see the Evil Queen a majority of the time, more so than in any other part of the park. This is definitely the place to take pictures in if you're cosplaying Epel at Disneyland. Moving on, if you go through Sleeping Beauty's castle,
you'll end up in Fantasyland, where there's a really cute boutique right next door called Merlin's Marvelous Miscellany. And they have a window display that reminds me of the science lab uniforms in Twisted Wonderland. Specifically the rook cards where he's holding the potions. I was telling my sister this at the time that I always thought that the store was the Evil Queen's. Mainly because there's a lot of merch for her, and also because Snow White's adventure is located right next door. And if you haven't noticed already, she actually peeks out from behind the curtain to look down on us. That is just absolutely perfect. So while we're in Fantasyland, we cannot forget the Alice in Wonderland area with the teacups and the Mad Hatter store. I love this area, and since I was wearing Ace's cosplay, I felt like I fit right in with everything. The inside of the Mad Hatter store is what I would think Heartslabyul Dorm would be like, so if you can, please check it out while you're there. And we cannot forget the teacups ride, because it is the perfect place to take pictures if you're dressed in Heartslabyul cosplay, especially Riddle. I love the atmosphere, the lanterns, the teacups, the music, literally everything makes you feel like you're at a tea party. And if you go around the corner to the Alice in Wonderland dark ride, you'll find the Cheshire Cat, or Chenya if you'd like. Across the way, you will find your own little piece of Epel that you can take home in the form of a poison apple sipper. I have one of these and I absolutely adore it. You cannot leave without taking one of these home. And right next door is Vargas's Red Rose Tavern, where they have the best chicken nuggets and fries. It's my favorite place to eat. And around the corner is the Pinocchio Dark Ride, where you can find the hot fox for the next Twisted Wonderland event. I'm just kidding, he's not there. But anyways, let's head to Sleeping Beauty's castle in celebration of Book 7. The little scenes throughout the walkthrough really remind me of Lilia's backstory in Twisted Wonderland, and it helps me remember what exactly happened in the movie. Admittedly, it's quite eerie because it's so dark in there, but it's very immersive and it makes you feel like you're actually in Sleeping Beauty. And more so in Twisted Wonderland too, so if you have any Diasomnia cosplays, I would say bring a lot of good lighting if you want to take pictures in the castle. But the aesthetic is there, and it honestly feels like Malinois could come creeping around the corner at any time, so come on over and check it out if you can. But going through Sleeping Beauty's castle again, we're gonna make our way to New Orleans Square, where there's a villain store that I always have to check out because it's the place where you can find the most merch of them. It's called Curios and Curiosities, and it's located next to Pirates of the Caribbean. They had a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas merch and Haunted Mansion merch, understandably, but they also have a little section of the store just for the Disney villains. They also have a lot of beautiful jewelry for villains, and there's a necklace that I want, but they did not have it at this time. But as you can see, here is some Disney villain merch, and if you go to Pieces of 8 right next door, there's even more merchandise for villains. I think they're all here because the Haunted Mansion is right next door, so come and take a look if you can. But I wanted to take you guys to the Haunted Mansion because some of the early drafts of the Haunted Mansion remind me a lot of Ramshackle Dorm. Also, there's a literal hearse right in front of the Haunted Mansion, just like the one that takes you to Night Raven College. But I know that our room in Ramshackle Dorm is not located in the Haunted Mansion, which is why we have to go to Toontown, to Mickey's house specifically, where I made it a point to stand in the 2-hour-long line to see if I could find the mirror where we see Mickey in the video game. I was disappointed to find that it wasn't on the mantelpiece in the living room, but I did find something similar in the sitting room, where I found a mirror that looked like the one in the game, as well as the chair right next to it. It was not what I was looking for exactly, But Grim and I found something quite eerie while we were standing in line. And that was the magic mirror in Mickey's basement. What I found even more eerie was that he appears in the mirror like he does in the video game. I was so shocked. Like you in the video game, I forgot to take a picture of Mickey with my ghost camera. So I had a little bit of a Twisted Wonderland moment there, and you can too if you visit Disneyland's Toontown. But on to a different place. This is the Jolly Holiday Cafe, where they have a really, really cute poison apple macaron. And from here I kept an eye out for the villains near Snow White's well, but the evil queen never came, unfortunately. But now that it's dark, we can actually go on a dark ride. So I chose Snow White's Adventure because I am a Pomafiore stan, and also because I wanted to see the evil queen today. I absolutely adore this ride. It makes me feel like I'm in the Pomafiore dorms. Yana really captured the little details of this movie so well in the game. Also, Snow White's cottage is definitely the one in the game, right? Here you will find all of the locations where Ace, Deuce, you, and Grim went to. It's kind of wild to see it all while I'm wearing my uniform and holding onto my Grim plushie. And there's Ville's throne and the magic mirror! I literally squealed when I passed this. It was so cool. And then we cannot forget Epel. He is literally everywhere in the ride in the form of a poison apple. I love the aesthetics of Snow White, mainly because it's so prominent in the world of Twisted Wonderland, and in Night Raven College too, because Pomafiore is the oldest dorm in the school. It has to hold some major significance to the story. Or I might just be Pomafiore biased, but who knows? I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Lots of people, including cast members, thought that I worked there. And for a little bit, I thought that I kind of looked like the villain recruiters in Tokyo Disney because of my Ace cosplay. It was so much fun, and I would do this again 10 out of 10. So if you'd like to see more videos like this at Disneyland, just let me know in the comments below. For now, thank you very much for watching, and let me know if I missed any spots and what your favorite spots were. Also, let me know what your favorite Twisted Wonderland cosplays are to wear to Disneyland. And with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.